Hi, this is Chrissy again, and I'm doing a reflection on Black in Latin America, Cuba, the next revolution. So, like, my opinion on this documentary, I feel as if the American laws of the Jim Crow laws and the way that America views of Black people and slavery impact a lot in Cuba. You know, I believe that the oppressors over here in America wanted to spread that wanted to spread that hatred around the whole world. And in many ways, well, gosh, I guess in a lot of different ways, they have succeeded. I often wonder what would have been the impact of Africans if the white oppressors would have not tried to destroy their history, or not tried to, but did destroy their image and a lot of things that Africans have contributed around the world, not just in America, but even in Cuba, contribute economically. It was mentioned in a documentary that although there were no laws literally segregating, but there was segregation put in place. And it also mentioned, that I find very interesting, was that when the Americans came over to Cuba, that they were trying to teach them, like, the difference between the whites and the blacks. Like at Cuba, they were just, Cubans were multicolored. They were all just Cuban. But then when the white people came in from America, they brought that toxic of racism, and they influenced that society to view from a light Cuban to a dark Cuban, and define them as white and black. And again, it's just spreading hatred and racism. But I often question, I wonder why. Why was it so important for the white man to discredit and make everything about black ugly, the music, and then on top of that, to do these things, and then to rape their culture, to steal it, to take it, take the music, take the culture, take everything that you said was ugly, and take it and use it for yourselves. I find that very interesting. There was a lot of similarities from the Cuba and even in the Haiti and Dominican Republic that I saw. Also, there was a time when listening to black music or playing and partaking in it was illegal. It was illegal. Wow, illegal. They just tried to wipe out everything black. And I just, again, you know, it makes me so proud to be who I am. You know, it enlightens me to be who I am. And it actually opens up my mind to want to research more into my bloodline and my heritage. Because why was it so important for the oppressor to whitenize everything? Why was it so important for them to make it as if the African was just the lowest of this, and you know, pictures of monkeys they will relate to us? Like, why were they trying to be just this bully upon the black culture? And it just makes me wonder, like, was there so much greatness that you saw that you tried to kill off? Like, what was the real issue into that? But basically, when it comes down to it, again, like I said in the other, I guess, opinion video, whatever, was that it just boils down to the history of blacks, and it boils down to the history of slavery and who was enslaved, you know. And I guess a lot of times when something is viewed as so negative, who wants to be a part of that, you know? No matter how dark my skin is, you know, as far as the Cuban go, I'm not African, I'm Cuban, when obviously we are more dominant to their recessive. Anytime, you cannot get white and eventually get black, but you can begin with black and get lighter. Okay, so I don't know, like, my opinion on it is, I just think that it's a shame, you know, how a group of people just tried to plague the world with division and racism. And I just think it's a shame, even right now till today, you even have African Americans disassociating themselves with Africa. I have heard so many people here in the United States and proudly say they are not Africans. Wow. Wow. I mean, wow. Wow. Have you been that conditioned and brainwashed? I mean, and it's like, even to them, to associate themselves with being African is a disgrace or something bad. And I'm like, do you know your history? Do you know where you come from? Do you know what richness is really in you? Do you know why you were, not able to read and write? Because eventually you will rise up. Eventually the student will become the teacher. I mean, it's just, it's a situation. It's something, it's something. It's a big pill to swallow, but I don't know. Racism isn't going anywhere. It's always going to be people that want to be above and beyond, and it's always going to be underdogs, and I just thank God for where he placed me at. I thank God for who I am and how I was raised, and color did not make or break me. I thank God the soil that my ancestors came from. And I'm, again, like I said in another film, I'm very proud to be who I am. And watching these documentaries really just made me want to research more and learn more of me, and understand. And, understand, like, I really want to know, like, why, what is really behind all of this? What is really behind all of this? Why? I don't know. It's a touchy situation, and especially being an African-American female, and still living in times where you are looked upon a certain way and you have to prove yourself more. And the disconnection in my community, it affects us all in a way. But not to get off topic, it's just a touchy situation, my opinion.